Hello. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. For those of you that don't know, the Chef's Kitchen serves as a culinary learning space where we offer pop-up restaurants Monday through Friday for lunch, and then we offer cooking classes and demos such as what we have going on here tonight once a month. We're glad that you guys could be here. Thanks, John. Tonight we have a special guest in store for you with David Best. He's actually the... Welcome, David. He's the general manager and executive chef for Beyu Caffe. He's a trained culinary chef who studied at Sullivan University, and which is located in Louisville, Kentucky. And he's worked for various restaurant and food service groups such as Ruth Chris Steakhouse, Chop Houses of North Carolina, and Sodexo USA. That's been all over the past 20 years. Currently, he's the executive chef and operations manager of Beyu Caffe. He's been doing that for the past 3 years. So welcome, David. He has a great menu in store for you tonight with a creation of his rendition of shrimp and grits. So with no further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. David Best.
How's everybody doing? Now, how many of you call yourself culinarians already? Okay, how many people say can't boil water? Okay, how many of you can cook? All right, well, that's a start. That's a start. So we don't want to burn ourselves or anything like that, so I'd like to know the levels that we're dealing with, all right? So she kind of just went ahead and told you everything about me, so that just took away my first 10 minutes I had planned on talking. I have been cooking for 20 years. I went to Sullivan University, as she said. I studied culinary arts, and then I went back and got another degree in hospitality management. Started out working with Ruth Chris, Bahama Breeze, Chop House in North Carolina. So I've done different styles of cooking throughout my career. I worked for a company called Sodexo, who did food service similar to what we do here on Duke campus. Did that for many years, traveled around with them. And now I'm currently at Beyu Caffe. Went there as the executive chef there to help out the kitchen, and became the general manager and have been there ever since. That's been about 3 years now, and still enjoying it. Now, the dish that we're talking about making today is shrimp and grits. How many of y'all like shrimp and grits? Everybody, he's over there dancing already. He hasn't even tasted the food yet. All right, so I'm going to talk about what we're going to do before we actually do it, so therefore we know what we're doing, okay? Everybody in agreement? All right, so in front of everybody, we have a menu card. It's front and back. I want you to take these home with you. You'll see a little bit different variations of what I'm talking about versus what you actually see on the card. These are for a larger batch, some of these, but I want you to be able to take it home so you can make it for your family if you choose to. But with the batch that we're going to make today, you're going to have to follow my instructions. Everybody follow me on that? All right. Let's talk about the history of shrimp and grits real quick before we get started. I know you just want to cook and just go ahead and turn things on and start going. So let's do that first. Turn your induction burner on so your water can start to get hot. Because the first item we're going to make is going to be the grits. Everybody know how to do that? Take your ladle outside of your, there you go. Outside of your pot. So what now? All the way up. We want to boil the water. Grits only cook when the water is boiling. Okay? So let's talk about the history of shrimp and grits. I want to tell you the history that I know. So, it's a New Orleans style cuisine, which means it's a French type of cuisine as well, right? The Spaniards and the French all migrated to Louisiana. That's why it's a melting pot of food and different type of flavors, and everybody goes there and says the food is just phenomenal. Hence the word Creole cooking. Now, the grits that we're cooking are Yellowstone grits. Does anybody know the difference of a Yellowstone grit and a white stone grit? Bonus question. Come on, somebody get the extra credit for the day. Go for it.
One's yellow, one's white.
You know what? Thank you for stating the obvious. That's correct. Do you know where grits come from? Corn, right? So what's the difference of a Yellowstone grit and a white stone grit? You want to try it again?
They come from yellow corn and white corn.
Correct. A Yellowstone grit comes from yellow corn. People tend to say that the Yellowstone grits are sweeter because of the sweet yellow corn that it comes from. I love yellow corn. Absolutely love it. I love the plenty grits that we're going to use today. You're going to notice when you get the grits today, these grits are a little bit grainier, meaning they have a little bit more meat texture when you bite into it. They're not going to just smooth all the way out. but you get the texture out of there without the crunch. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy these so much. Now, we're waiting for your water to boil. If you notice in front of you, got your ingredients already lined up, ready to go. In front of you, the first thing you're going to have is going to be your butter, your salt, and your pepper based on your recipe card. When the water starts to boil, I see steam coming from a few of them already. We're going to, all at the same time, we're going to wait till everybody's ready. We're going to add the butter and the salt. Behind that, after the water is boiling, we're going to go ahead and add the grits. Once you're pouring the grits in, the whisk that you have in front of you, you're going to have to have a swirling motion as you're putting the grits in there. That way the grits don't fall to the bottom, stick, and become clumpy. You want your grits to still be smooth. After the grits go in there and you start stirring, you want to turn your heat down, halfway of where it is now. Continue to stir. Then you want to follow it with the cheese that you have right there with you. You see the cheese right there by the grits? After you got that in there and the cheese is starting to melt inside the grits, you want to come back with the heavy cream that's behind it. So that's the butter, salt, and pepper. It's going to be the grits. Then it's going to be the cheese. And then we're going to end it with the heavy cream. Everybody follow me on that. We good? Now, while y'all do that, give me 2 minutes. I'm going to run back here, and I'm going to get my stuff together. While I was talking to you guys, I didn't even get my grits ready. Still waiting on my water to boil. But we're not going to wait all day on me. Ronnie? Where's Ronnie? I need to make sure I got heat coming. Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll let it cook. We'll let it cook. Okay, the water, thank you. The water is boiling, so let's go ahead and put in your butter, your salt, and pepper. He'll take care of that for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Let's go ahead and put in your grits. Remember to whisk your grits when you do it.
And that's when you turn the water down? Or no, is that...
Not yet, not yet. I'll tell y'all in just a second when to turn the water down. To make sure the grits do not fall to the bottom of the pan. You can go ahead and pour all that in there. Go ahead, pour it all in there. Go ahead, go ahead. It has to get into the water for it to bloom and to become creamy and thick. Is anybody grits starting to cream up yet?
Like with the white foam?
Oh, no, you'll be able to tell the difference while you're whisking it. It'll thicken up on you. I think yours is getting to slow down a little bit. Turn your heat halfway down. You can go halfway down. Getting there, getting there. Slow down for me. Yes, go halfway down. This whole table, turn your heat halfway down on this table. Thank you. Slow down for me. Keep whisking. Halfway down. Halfway. Halfway. I'm gonna make you work. No, halfway, halfway. This whole table, turn your heat halfway down. At this point, we're gonna slow down with our whisking. We're gonna go ahead and add our cheese in. Nope. That's right. Everything's in order. After you drop your cheese in, go ahead and turn your heat all the way off. Do y'all feel the difference of it was before you added it in there? As you started whisking it, as you put it in there, it thickened up on you. It started the kernel started to bloom. It creamed up on you. Then you added the last bit of the element was the cheese to smooth it out some. And now we're going to add the heavy cream. When you add the heavy cream, notice the color of your grits. They're going to start to change. They're going to change the color once you add the heavy cream to it.
Are they both the same heavy cream?
They're both the same heavy cream. Just one. Just add one. But you see your grits are going to lighten up on you. Those are good looking grits. That's a true chef. Got his finger all in it already. There you go. It's your food. Taste your food. All right. Everybody can stop whisking at this point. What we want to do now is take it off the heat. Set it off to the side. You can put it right back here. No, you're fine. There you go. Now, what we're doing now is allowing the grits to rest. One of the things that are different about the way I do shrimp and grits at Beyu Caffe versus the way we do shrimp and grits other places, our grits are made, stored, and they're allowed to tighten up. At this point, we want them to tighten up because we're going to saute our shrimp. We're going to saute some peppers and onions. We're going to put this great sauce on it. We want the sauce to sit on top of the grits and then work its way all the way through to the bottom. So therefore, when you bite it, when you put your spoon into it, you get the sauce in every bit of it. You follow me? Everybody on the same page? Everybody enjoying themselves? Y'all a quiet group. Yes, y'all are. Okay. This is going better than I thought it was going to go. You guys are on it. Well, let's go ahead and go to our second step, which is going to be our frying pan. Let's get our frying pan on the stove. Good to go? Everybody got a frying pan? Turn your heat up to about 5. Okay. Y'all rolling so fast, I'm not having time to cook my own food. This is awesome. All right, so we have a few ingredients in front of you. We're going to talk about the same. We're going to go through the same steps that we did a while ago. With the grits, we're going to do the same thing with the shrimp and the sauce that we're about to do. So in front of you, you're going to see that you have oil, you have shrimp, 1620 shrimp, Italian sausage, a trinity of peppers, which is going to be, well, trinity of peppers plus onion. Then we also have the actual lobster sauce that's already made for you guys, heavy cream and cheese. Does anybody know why I went ahead and made the lobster sauce? Anybody know why I made it? That's part of it. It probably will. And I wanted to make sure you got the true essence of what we do every day at the restaurant. And to actually teach you how to make the actual sauce itself is so in-depth, and it's such a long process. I thought it would be better if we go ahead and make the sauce for you, but you still get to make the whole steps of what we would do during dinner service. Everybody good with that? Okay. So we want to go ahead and add the oil to your pan. When you go to the grocery store, you go to the seafood department, you're looking at shrimp. There's different sizes of shrimp. Do anybody know what those numbers mean? You see 22, 24, 44, 48, 16, 20. You see U12s. Does anybody know what those things mean? Correct. How many of each of those items come per pound? 1620 is usually considered a larger shrimp in most people's eyes. It is not the largest, but 1620 shrimp is the shrimp that's in front of you. There's probably 2-3 sizes bigger than that. Some shrimp can get up to the size of lobster tails. They could be a U1, which means 1 shrimp per pound. That's like a lobster tail is 1 pound as well. So just so you know, they can get extremely large. And then you can have the small baby shrimp, you know, the popcorn shrimp that you get 20 in a hand, and you like, it's all breading type deal. So we actually use 1620 in the restaurant. So as your oil is starting to heat up, now I want you to pick your pan up. Everybody watch me how I do this one. You want to look for your oil to start to be able to run by itself. This was not hot enough yet. When your oil is ready to run from one side to the other, that's how you know your oil is ready for you to add your shrimp to it. We're going to add the shrimp first. As the shrimp starts to cook, it's going to take about a minute, minute and a half on one side. On that side, then we're going to flip it to the other side. It's going to turn to a pink, opaque color. We don't want to cook it all the way through because we're going to add the sauce to it. It's going to continue cooking while we do that as well. Everybody follow me? So what's our first step we're about to do now? We're going to pick the pan up to see if the sauce is hot enough or not. Anybody think that sauce is hot?
Runs pretty.
You getting there. All right, let's put it back down. We're going to give it about another 30 seconds because I want it as soon as you put it in there. Okay? So we're going to take the oil's already in there. The next thing's going to be the shrimp, and then it's going to be the sausage. Any questions at this point as I take a sip of water? Nobody has a question for me? I like to talk, so please ask me something. Because my mother was putting me out of the house. True story. True story. I got out of the military. I went home, and I was at home for about a year, and I was working at a department store. And my mother said, who's an educator, said, yeah, you're going to either go to college or you're going to have to live by yourself. You can't stay home and just work at a department store. That's not going to work, son. There was three things I liked to do at the time. One was cooking. One was argue, so I thought about doing law. And the other thing was doing yard work. Well, it gets cold outside. I don't like cold weather, so I knew that was out. I wanted to go to law school, but at that time I was 23. I already did 5 years in the military. All my friends were graduating college, and I was like, I'm too far behind to go to school for another 7 years. I'll be 30 years old. I'll be too old to start anything. That was my thought process. And then I said, well, culinary arts I could go do for 2 years, get a degree, and become this great chef. Yeah, that didn't happen. I did 2 years, and I went to be a line cook for somebody, and I was making salads for the next 3 years at Ruth Chris. But I learned a lot while I was there. So that's how I became a chef. All right, let's go ahead and add your shrimp to your dishes. I do believe we're good to go. Oh, I hear sizzling over there. That's fine. You guys are fine. What do you have yours on, 5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, we got some sizzle dizzle. Sizzle dizzle. You're fine. Go ahead, put it in there. Oh, you got a bonus shrimp. Ah, got it. Okay. Everybody got sizzle. So we're looking for the shrimp to be halfway pink before we flip it. Okay? Ronnie? Where's Ronnie? We're dead again. I got no power. It's not even getting hot. None of that's hot. Thank you, Ronnie. All right. You gotta let it cook. Let it cook. Many of y'all cook shrimp at home already? I got one hand over there. Anybody else? Okay, a few people do. Y'all cook this size shrimp, bigger shrimp, smaller shrimp? Smaller. Yeah. 30 seconds, everybody on this side can flip their shrimp. In 30 seconds, everybody on this side flip their shrimp. With your spatula. You need some help? You got it?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you want me to pop it in the air?
Like, that'd be cool.
Uh-huh.
Could you?
There you go. There you go. Don't pop the grease onto you. Pop just a little, boop. Just a little, For those who are brave enough to try it. Who wants to try to flip it? You want to flip it in the air? Or you want to use your spatula?
Oh, I can wait.
No. Ooh, with your hand?
What do you want me to do?
You can use the spatula. Let's go ahead and flip your shrimp. As soon as you flip your shrimp, go ahead and put your sausage in the pan with it. Go ahead and put the sausage in the pan with the shrimp.
Sausage in.
Yes.
Can I skip the sausage?
Yes, absolutely. For those who don't want to use the sausage, feel free to leave it off to the side or give it to the person next to you. All right, let's go ahead and throw the peppers and onions in with it now. At this point, you're going to take your spatula and you're going to swirl everything around together. You're welcome. Y'all smell those aromas coming at you? Smells like a real kitchen right now. All right. Now the shrimp are not fully cooked. They are probably 3/4 of the way. At this point, we're going to add the lobster sauce to the dish. Add the lobster sauce. And you can use your spatula to scrape all that out. You're welcome. Everybody's adding the lobster sauce at this time?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Now that you have the lobster sauce in it, now add the last ramekin of heavy cream. Mix all that together. You're looking for your sauce to bubble in the middle. Once it bubbles in the middle, and you have that nice creamy gravy-style sauce, you know you're ready to pull off. Everybody's sauce is coming out wonderful. Nobody's sauce is breaking. That's excellent. I want some now. I lost my water. There we go. There we go. We got bubbles in the middle. You're done. Cut yours off. You don't have to take it off. Just cut it off. There you go. All right. Waiting on yours to bubble right in the when it bubbles. Right, we call it breathing. When it breathes in the middle, you know it's ready to go. You're giving it life. Once it starts to breathe in the middle, you're giving it life. You're looking for it. It's coming. I can see it. I predict it. It's about to happen. And I got a pop right there. There you go. You win. There you go. You got him. Let it breathe. Yeah, we still waiting for the bubbles in the middle. Good deal. You're about to pop. Oh, yeah. You too. You're good. You're good. You can cut it off at this point. Nope, don't put the cheese in yet. The cheese goes on. The cheese does not go in. That last ramekin of cheese, we're not going to put in just yet. So at this point, that's what we're about to do. At this point, we're going to ask you, the ladle that you have on your table, it is time to complete your dish. You want to put 2 ladles of the grits inside the bowls that I just gave you. Notice as you're getting your grits how tight they are, how they hold together, versus when you first stop. Me? Oh. Oh, that's for me? Oh, I was like, oh, okay. All right. Did everybody? Everybody got the grits inside the bowl? Everybody knows the difference of the grits texture once they sat there for about 4 or 5 minutes and they started to tighten up. So there's another dish that we make. We're going to pause for 30 seconds. I'm going to tell you about another dish we do at Beyu Caffe. It's called a deep fried shrimp and grit cake. We make the grits the exact same way we do here. We add a little Cajun season to it and a little bit of chili pepper. Cook off shrimp. We part cook the shrimp. Same ones right there. We chop them up. We put them inside the grit mixture. We spread it out onto a sheet tray. Put it in the cooler. Then we cut it out, bread it, and deep fry it just like you do an onion ring. It's our shrimp and grit cakes. And then we put a cheese sauce, pico, and Brussels alfalfa sprouts on top. It is absolutely phenomenal. People love it. And it was just one of those things that we had some grits, and we said, let's see what we could do with them, and we came up with that idea. So now that we have these grits sitting in the bowl, they're good and sturdy, we want to now take your shrimp and your sauce and just pour it on top. And you're going to see how your sauce sits on top of your grits.
The whole shebang?
The whole shebang. You see how the sauce literally sits on top of the grits and fills up the bowl, so it looks like you got a bowl full of sauce where you know there's grits underneath. In the next 30 to 45 seconds, as you're sitting, we're about to finish up, the grits are going to start soaking up all those flavors from the sauce. We're going to finish the project by adding that last ramekin of what? Parmesan cheese on top. Parmesan cheese has a little bite to it. That's why we want to add that to it to give it a little bit of that bite right there at the beginning. Let that sit there. It's literally going to melt into the sauce. And now, the best part ever. All my sous chefs. There you go.
Thank you.
Here you go, sir. Huh? All your grits should have gone into your bowl.
Oh, so was this the only two ladles full?
Excuse me, what was the question?
What do we do with the left over?
Y'all want to take it with you? We got to go. Okay, that'll work too. Oh, that'll work too. It's your creation. So, little history. Not history. Oh, no, go take your photo. I'll wait.
They're my friends.
So, the shrimp and grits you're about to eat that you just made was featured in Travel North for the state of North Carolina, the best shrimp and grits in the state. Out of all the restaurants and all the places they went, they found that ours was the best. We wear that badge proudly. There you go. Now, everybody dig in and somebody tell me what they think. Even if you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. If you love it, tell me you love it. I hear silence. That's always a good thing. No talking, more eating. I love it. Somebody tell me, what do you think? What do you think about your creation?
That shrimp are tender.
So what now?
Shrimp are tender, but
Yeah.
they got a nice crunch to them.
Yep, absolutely. That comes from pan seared. That's why we had our heat up, so you can sear the outside of it, and then flip it, pan sear the other side. I see head knobbing, juices on chins. That's good. Was it worth coming out today? Y'all gonna invite me back? I'm not doing shrimp and grits next time. We have another dish called catfish and grits. That's something totally different. Now, what year are you guys? As far as what year are you? Freshman, sophomore, juniors, senior? He said that quick. I'm ready to leave. Senior. What we got over here? Okay. How many of y'all had a little something that we created not too long ago? A peanut butter and jelly French toast. Would y'all eat that? Peanut butter and jelly French toast. Okay. Check out BU Blue sometime. Not now. It's not over there now, but coming real soon. Real soon. All right. I don't think I have anything else for you guys. Y'all got any questions for me? Say what now?
For the French toast you mentioned at the end, is it going to come before May? Before you
Yes,
graduate?
absolutely. Probably when you come back from spring break. My favorite dish to cook at BU Cafe? Coffee. It is shrimp and grits, though. Shrimp and grits is probably one of my favorites. I probably eat it once a week. Absolutely. Just one for quality control, two because I love it. I'm from Goldsboro, North Carolina. I grew up on grits. So I really, I could go in every day and have a spoonful of grits and be just fine. Anybody else got questions? Load me up.
Would you say this is like your signature dish?
This is absolutely BU Cafe's signature dish. Absolutely. I've had people who come from New Orleans say this is the best shrimp and grits they've ever had. I've always been a fan of shrimp and grits prior to working at BU Cafe. When me and my wife go places, I always will order it. There's 3 or 4 different styles you can get, different variations. You can get a shrimp and grits with a brown gravy. In New Orleans, when you have, they have, because you have so many different cultures, they have so many different styles of how they do the same dish. So there's I call it maybe a biscuit gravy style with peppers and onions, just like this one, where the peppers and onions are going to be cut long and big. The shrimp is going to be in there. They're going to be on white grits, and they're going to go over, and that's more of a low country shrimp and grits, more like South Carolina style. You have, I think it is the Spanish that like the beef gravy type shrimp and grits. Just onion, no peppers. One thing everybody likes with their shrimp and grits is what? Grits. Any other questions?
What kind of sausage is that?
That's a mild Italian sweet sausage. You like it? Good. Good.
What is the lobster sauce made out of?
The lobster sauce. Good question. So, it starts off with a lobster base. Everybody know what a lobster base is? Let me explain what a lobster base is so you understand that. So, stock. Lobster, seafood stock, beef stock, chicken stock, poultry stock, veal stock. It comes from the bones of the animal bull. So, I use a lobster base, which is made out of a lobster stock, condensed down to give a bigger flavor profile. So it has water, lobster base in it, the same trinity that you just had a while ago, the peppers, the onions, fresh thyme, salt, pepper, and we let it simmer for about 3 to 4 hours. And all that comes together, all those flavors start to bind together. At that point, we actually make a roux. Anybody know what a roux is? Somebody tell me what a roux is. Correct. It's oil and butter mixed together, oil and flour mixed together, or butter and flour. There's a blonde roux, a brown roux, and a dark roux, depending on what color you need your gravy to be. So we use a blonde roux for this because we don't need to change the color of it at all. So we make a roux, add the roux to it, slowly add the roux to it and thicken it up, and then we let it simmer some more. Then we take it off and we leave it at room temperature for 1 hour, and then we put it in the cooler for 2 hours to bring it down to the right temperature. So it's a intense project. We don't make it every day. We make it probably every 3 to 4 days. Is it good? Y'all come to BU Cafe to order some? Do y'all know where BU Cafe is? All right, good deal. Bring your laptop, come back, kid back, study. Order our sweet potato cheesecake. That's a plug. Yeah. Maple layer sweet potato cheesecake. You can't find it anywhere else in this whole North Carolina, I promise you. Sweet potato maple layer cheesecake. Anybody got any other questions?
Do you make the lobster base from scratch?
We do not make the lobster base from scratch. That is too intense and too time consuming for us. Luckily, there's product out there that we don't have to do that. Any other questions? Keep them coming. I can talk all day.
When you make a new dish, or like you dream up this French toast, peanut butter, and jelly concoction you have, how do you start out with that? You just sort of have two concepts, or I don't know, what's the process?
Okay, I'm a father of 7. I got 2 college kids and 1 in daycare and 1 in every grade level in between. Literally, high school, middle school, 2 in elementary, 2 in college, 1 in daycare. So I know what my kids like to eat. They love peanut butter and jelly, or better yet, Daddy likes making peanut butter and jelly where he doesn't want to cook. You got French toast, and we have phenomenal French toast. All our food is phenomenal, by the way. I'm just telling you, I can't help but brag on the food because the food really is good at BU. And then one day, we were actually trying to figure out a new dish for Duke campus. This is right hand to God. We tried to figure out a new dish for Duke campus, and I was like, I just went in the back. I saw the peanut butter, I saw the jelly, I put it together, did a sandwich, put it out, added syrup to it. Everybody loved it. It just happened just like that. Most great dishes just happen. They're not really set. You don't sit back and just think about this goes good with this and this goes good. You're usually in the kitchen and you're just trying something, or something that's messed up and you got to fix it. And when you fix it a certain way. You're like, oh, this is a great dish. I.e., what we just talked about, the grit cakes. There was leftover grits one day. They were hard. Why don't we add shrimp to it? Why don't we try and fry it? Let's see what happens. That's how fried pickles came about, fried asparagus came about, fried green beans came about. Somebody was in the kitchen playing one day and was like, let's try it. Yes, sir.
Is this the shrimp and grits you make for yourself, or is your like home recipe different from that?
I have another version that I actually like. I like it equally as much as this one. So it's a tomato-based one. And it doesn't have as much sauce as this one right here. This is a gravy-based shrimp and grits. This one, I will actually saute the shrimp off, similar to what we did from the get-go. Diced tomatoes, more or less a pico de gallo. I add pico de gallo to it. Then I add the sausage to it, and I saute that off. Add a little bit of water to it to bring out all the flavors and everything. And then I literally just pour that in the au jus that comes from all the tomatoes and the onions and the jalapenos, and pour that on top of my grits and add a little bit of sugar. Again, I'm from North Carolina. We like sugar on our grits. And that would be my favorite version. And then, you still get, there's other versions out there. You can actually deep fry your shrimp and do it for shrimp and grits. Whatever floats your boat. Anybody else? Going, yes.
How quickly do you try to introduce a new dish that you're
Not as much as my owner would love me to. We probably revamp the menu probably 2 to 3 times a year by adding 1 or 2 new dishes up there. And we'll take 1 or 2 dishes away as the year goes on. Like shrimp and grits is always going to be a staple. It's not going anywhere. French toast is a staple. It's not going anywhere. But then, like, for a little while, I did a black and blue salad that had pan-seared, brisket up there with potatoes, roasted red peppers, and fried onions on it. We did that for 5 months, and then we pulled that off. We may bring it back later. I'm thinking about doing 2 or 3 different new salads going into the spring. Different part of the year, we do different things. So, yeah, we change up every so often. But sweet potato cheesecake, not going anywhere. Shrimp and grits, not going anywhere. French toast, not going anywhere at all. Anybody? Any culinary questions outside of Beyu Caffe and what we do here? Everybody mighty quiet. Y'all ready to go? Y'all full. Y'all already ate. Y'all done now, huh? Y'all don't got any use for me at all now, huh? I know. I'm used to it. My kids the same way. Daddy, cash at me, bye. Yeah, y'all know about that, I bet. All right. Well, thank you, guys. I enjoyed myself.